I don't know what is going on in the United States of America. I'm willing to. I mean, this in and of itself reads very weird. It reads very strange. Okay, this story is weird. All right. Let's get to the news. Let's get to some also serious and confusing news, even though it is confusing that the Daily Wire is no longer producing the Daily Wire straight to DVD, straight to streaming Snow White.
New details about the possible wider scope and circle of this investigation. There's the attack here in New Orleans. There's also the Cybertruck that exploded just outside the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas. And Andres Gutierrez is in Las Vegas for us with that part of the story. Andres, good morning.
Good morning, Tony. Sources tell CBS News that the Cybertruck was rented to a Matthew Livelsberg, an active duty member of the U.S. Army who is currently on leave. CBS did speak to two of his relatives who said that they had no idea that he was involved in this incident, but knew that he had recently rented a Cybertruck. We're told that his wife hadn't heard from him in several days.
This was the scene from inside the lobby of the Trump International Hotel just after 8:30 Wednesday morning. A 2024 Tesla Cybertruck engulfed in flames in the valet area just outside the main doors.
We saw sparks. It was pretty fast.
This surveillance video caught the moment that Cybertruck exploded.
I just heard a boom.
Oh my God.
Investigators say the truck had just parked at the hotel.
It was sitting in the porte cochere for about 15 seconds before it exploded.
It was like a firework. It was popping sound, bang sound, and a lot of sparks fly.
As police moved to evacuate the 64-story hotel, firefighters worked quickly to put out the fire.
Once the fire went out through the suppression efforts of the fire department, you'll see some of the evidence in the back of the vehicle. So those are gasoline canisters. They are camp fuel canisters and large firework mortars.
Police also said that because this explosion happened in a Cybertruck, the damage was very limited. Tesla CEO Elon Musk explained why in a statement on social media, writing, quote, "The evil knuckleheads picked the wrong vehicle for a terrorist attack."
Like, what's the right vehicle for a terrorist attack? Like, it doesn't. It's a strange way to talk about things, you know? Also, Elon Musk had to change his account immediately. Remember? He changed his name to like Kekius Maximus or whatever. Unfortunately for him, this happened, so he couldn't keep his account as Kekius Maximus. And he had to change it back to Elon Musk immediately to do PR. What happened? Right to privacy folks who own Teslas must be thrilled to learn that Elon records footage of them at every charge up. Apparently, he also has the digital keys to all the vehicles in case any corpses need to be removed. The sheriff said Tesla CEO Elon Musk helped the investigation by having the truck unlocked after it auto-locked in the blast and giving investigators... Yeah, I think it's pretty funny for... like, obviously, it's not necessarily like a bad thing that like there is some sort of like fail-safe. But it is funny that it auto-locked during the blast. Elon was like, it's the worst car to kill yourself in. Or it's the worst car to do a suicide attack in. It is the best car to kill yourself in, though. It'll kill you even if you don't want to die, actually. It will auto-lock you. Teslas auto-lock when they're on fire. Perfect vehicle for a terror attack here. Okay, chill. Auto lock in case of fire to protect the fire from getting out. Yeah. Yeah. because if you're on fire inside of a car and you unlock the door and you get out, then you can spread the fire technically. It's a smart move from Elon Musk. The smart move from Elon Musk also is that it's better if the person just dies in this fire rather than survives and then ends up suing the manufacturer, you know?
Attack. Cybertruck actually contained the explosion and directed the blast upward. Not even the glass doors of the lobby were broken.
And so now authorities are looking into several parallels between this incident and the attack in New Orleans. Besides,
yeah, his name change thing was very funny. A story in 4 parts. Kekius Maximus. Imagine you're a journalist. You're writing about Elon on X, and it goes, Elon Musk, aka Kekius Maximus on X, crying, laughing emoji. Elon Musk quote retweets it and says, this will be priceless. And then this happens, and Elon Musk immediately changes his profile picture and name. Turns out it's not priceless. Turns out maybe it's necessary. What happened? I thought it was going to be priceless when Kekius Maximus was talking about, you know, how Cybertruck is the worst car to do a terrorism in. Is he laughing at his own joke again? I mean, you got to do that sometimes when no one else is laughing. You got to train your audience to laugh. Oh, this was also funny as well. Marcus Brownlee sells his Tesla Cybertruck. Elon unfollows him. This was before the explosion, by the way. Yeah. Okay. We got another base Bill Burr take. Okay, we'll look at that in a little bit. You are not allowed to sell your Tesla. You're never allowed to sell it. You have to sit on it.
it's a timing on New Year's Day. Both involved trucks that were rented from the Turo app, and both did involve U.S.-born military service members who served in Afghanistan around the same time.
Officials in Vegas talking now about the Cybertruck attack there at the Trump Hotel. Let's listen in.
As many of you went to sleep last night, and I just want to give you an update on a lot of what it is that we found through the processing of the Cybertruck. This is a joint investigation involving the FBI, the ATF, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and these folks worked through the night and found a lot of stuff that is very useful for this investigation. As you look at this Cybertruck here, we had to transport this down to our fleet services so that we could really get through this thing. And I remind you that the subject inside wasn't able to be removed for a very long period of time because he was burnt beyond recognition. And so as we continue to move through this, I'm going to talk a little bit about his identity and what we believe, but I would like to highlight a couple of things that the teams found inside of the Cybertruck that are useful to the investigation. And that, first and foremost, is a military identification. We also found a passport. We found a Desert Eagle 50 caliber semi-automatic pistol. And if you'll notice on a lot of these guns that we're going to talk about here, they're almost just burnt beyond recognition as well. There's a SLR model B30 semi-automatic firearm, number of fireworks that were still in the vehicle that had to be removed. Notably, we found an iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, the man suspected of being behind the Tesla Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas was a big supporter of Donald Trump and voted for him in November. Dude, I don't know what is going on in the United States of America. I'm willing to, I mean, this in and of itself reads very weird. It reads very strange. Okay? This story is weird. It's like, I don't know anymore. I don't know if it's like a psyop or what. I don't know if it's a psyop or if people are just unwell. Like it's a very, very weird story. Okay. maybe an accident. Gonna be real funny if this guy was just a hog who had tons of fireworks to celebrate and just blew up by accident. But I got, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I got nothing. I just don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what is happening. I feel like people are unwell. So it's difficult to ascertain whether or not this is a byproduct of people that are unwell, or if it's, I don't know, the State Department activating a sleeper cell in the wrong time or something. I don't know. But I also feel like one of those like Trump supporters who always is like after every mass violence incident, like after every mass shooting, they're like, oh, it's a psyop. To do what? I don't know. You know what I mean? If you were to come at me and ask me, okay, what's the psyop? I have no answer for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is happening? What is going on? Like the ISIS one makes kind of sense from a psyop angle, right? It's like instilling fear about ISIS, but ISIS also doesn't make sense. Like it would be better if you were going to do if I'm the government and I want to manufacture consent and instill fear in the heart of Americans, I would probably not hit an ISIS angle. I would hit a Hamas angle. I would be like, oh, this guy was a supporter of Hamas, or this guy was a supporter of like Iran or something. You know what I mean? Or he's a Chinese supporter. He's a supporter of the CCP or something. Like it doesn't make sense. When you say ISIS, people go, ISIS 2025 doesn't make any sense. His wife was an anti-Trump person in 2016. Wait, are you talking about NOLA guy or Las Vegas? If this guy has a wife and also is a divorced dad, I'm going to lose my mind, because then both of the people are the Vegas guy. So both of the people are possibly former wife guys turned divorced guys, not divorced. NOLA guy was legitimately just an insane psychopath. This one seems most likely like a dumb accident. FBI are in Colorado Springs investigating a lead into the Cybertruck explosion. Dude, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand what is going on. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. This stuff is just like, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words here. Like even Matthew Thomas Crooks being a registered Republican and then shooting at Donald Trump because he was like, I'll kill any president that comes into my neighborhood. I don't even care. Like looking at his background, looking at his profile, looking at his like political ideology and trying to figure out what was going on. It just kind of reads as a guy who was a loser and wanted glory for himself and thought, if I shoot at any president that comes into Pennsylvania, into my quiet suburb, I'll get it. Instead of doing a mass shooting, I'm just going to do this instead. So that part, albeit crazy for any other country, makes a lot of sense for America because gun violence is a constant part of our lives. But then you have NATO guy Ryan Ruth, who is also a former Trump voter, who bricked his brain and also was spending a lot of time, it seems, around Fort Bragg. Okay, partially because he had 1,000 combat-ready Afghan troops that were NATO trained, ready to go, ready to operate in Ukraine. That was his thing. Ukraine was his big thing. He was a Ukraine guy. Okay, that's weird. That's a weird situation. Okay, now you have two other vets that have also spent time at Fort Bragg. Two other vets in two separate parts of the country. Don't dead name Fort Liberty. Okay, stop. two other, one active duty service member, one veteran, both spent time at Fort Bragg, both went to Afghanistan. Don't know if the other vet is, don't know if the NOLA guy was also, don't know if the NOLA guy was also a Trump voter, but like, they both use Turo to rent cars. They're both electric vehicles. Like, I don't know what's happening. It's weird. Bizarre, but NOLA guy is the one who filed for divorce, not his wife. I read through the divorce records yesterday. Wife accused him of abuse and cheating. That's all the tea. Why doesn't it make sense? Why is it hard for you to believe these guys did it in their own? It's not the first time someone or a group of people were radicalized and did an attack and pledged allegiance to ISIS. You sound like a MAGA hog. What is an acceptable reason for you? I mean, I don't think you need to be like a MAGA hog to look at a situation like this and go, it's a little odd that the first day of the new year led to two veterans popping off in very different ways in different parts of the country. You know? I think it's weird if you assume they're connected via their divorces. No, I don't think they're connected via their divorces. The guy is not even divorced. This guy is not even divorced. I'm saying that, like, there is a point of radicalization for both of these people, most likely. If this guy also, if this wasn't an accident, because we still don't know exactly what happened here. We don't know what the motive is. We just know the person's background. And it's weird. The background is weird, especially because he's still an active duty guy. The other guy, the NOLA guy, was also a normal dude, which is crazy. Like, he was a very normal dude. He had a life, he had a wife, he had children, I think. Like, he had a career. And people say, I mean, the media has been covering his background saying, like, well, he was $30,000 in debt, which is a lot of money to be in debt. But also, the average American student coming right out of college has more debt than that. You know what I mean? So that also doesn't make a lot of sense either. Like, what American doesn't have a tremendous bounty? What American does not have a tremendous amount of debt that they have to pay off? It's just, it's weird. It's a weird situation.
And a smartwatch, and then several credit cards were also in the name of our subject. Our subject is 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. He's of Colorado Springs, Colorado, born July 22nd of 1987. Now, as you'll see here on a picture of his driver's license, let's see, the question really still remains for me, and I know that there's a lot of you folks in the media that are identifying this person as the person in our vehicle. As I mentioned to you already, his body is burnt beyond recognition, and I do still not have confirmation.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that his name is Life is Burger, okay? This is like, I'm done. I can't even, dude, come on. Life is Burger? Life is Burger, life is gun? Gun and burger? Gun burger? Is this a joke? Are you joking? We're not a serious country, man. We are a deeply unserious nation.
100% that is the individual that was inside of our vehicle. And so as I'm calling it now...
I'm sorry, that's a J.K. Rowling style naming, okay? Oh yeah, here we have an American character. His name is Matthew Leifesberger. His name is Matthew Hamburger. Like, what the hell? No. If I read this in a book, I'm like, come on, dude, this is disrespectful. Like, that's not Really? Like you think, oh, American guy. His name is Hank Cheeseburger. Okay. Shut up.
The subject or person of interest. I will not come back until I have the confirmation through DNA or medical records that this is indeed, in fact, the subject inside of the vehicle. Now, further complicating this identification of this individual, we also discovered through the coroner's office that the individual had sustained a gunshot wound to the head prior to the detonation of the vehicle. One of the handguns was found at his feet inside of the vehicle. Obviously, in how we're trying to identify him, and I'm feeling comfortable to give you this information, is a tremendous amount of substantial evidence to include he rented the Turo vehicle. There are 2 tattoos, one of which was on the stomach and one of which is on the arm, that we can see bits and pieces of it as in comparison to what.
That's so crazy that he's just like, that's so crazy that he is just so shredded and so burnt that they're just like, they can't even figure out who the dude is yet completely.
It is that we now know he had on his body that has given us a lot of confidence that this is, in fact, the same person, as well as which the clearly obvious, which is the credit cards, the military identification, the passport. And then furthermore, as you'll see here in just a very short period of time, we tracked his movements from Colorado to Las Vegas. And in a number of the photographs that we were able to determine, he was the individual that was driving the vehicle. And also, I'd like to iterate this point to you. We still have only ever seen him in this vehicle, and we're not aware of any other subjects involved in this particular case. Now, I would like to acknowledge a couple of things because I know what's going on in the social media world, and there are a number of things in this case that are similar to the attack in New Orleans. We do know that our subject here served in the military. In fact, he's a current member of the military. Both of the subjects served at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. What we do.
Dude, this is going to break people. I mean, it's breaking me, so I get it. It's even breaking my brain. It makes no damn sense, bro. I mean, like, it's just so close to one another at the same time. Like, it's just, I'm sure it's pure happenstance. It's pure. I mean, it's purely coincidental that there are so many like similarities. Like, these people have like crossed paths in the past as well.
Do know about that is it's a very large
it's not. I'm not saying it's connected to one another. For the record, I'm not saying that.
Military base, and we have no record that they served in the same unit or even at the same years at Fort Bragg. Something that continues to remain under investigation. I also know that they both served in Afghanistan in 2009. We don't have any evidence that they were in the same province in Afghanistan, the same location, or the same unit. Again, something else that remains under investigation. And we also know, of course, that they both used the rental company Turo to rent their vehicles.
And they're both EVs. They both use EV trucks. That is, if this person actually, by the way, while we're having this conversation, there are a lot of weird parts about the story with Matthew Hamburger guy, okay? It still could be an accident. Like, they haven't really figured out what's going on. Now there's also evidence that he had a gunshot, like a self-inflicted, potentially gunshot wound. So, like, what does that mean? Like, we don't know if someone like, how does he accidentally shoot himself? Okay, there's two options here. One, Electrical circuit failure inside of the Tesla. Okay, here, hold on 1 second. Let me put the conspiracy music on. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Matthew Leifesberger arrives at Trump Tower, excited to stay in his favorite president's hotel institution. He's arrived in Las Vegas in a Tesla Cybertruck. He's excited to eat burger at Gordon Ramsay's famous burger institution, also cleverly titled Burger. He's had plans. He's going to put $100 on black. However, he's also brought his weapons with him because Las Vegas, when you go out to Las Vegas, there are a lot of gun ranges that you can go and shoot your gun at. Maybe he's going to hang out with some of his military buddies. He realizes that the fireworks that he brought forth after an electrical circuit failure inside of the Tesla Cybertruck start catching fire. He realizes in that moment that the Tesla Cybertruck has automatically locked him in. Instead of dying to self-immolation, he pulls out his Desert Eagle and kills himself. Or, here's another conspiracy. Matthew Leifesberger gets to Trump Tower, excited for the time off that he has with his buddies. Again, electrical circuit failure causes the fireworks that he brought with him that he was going to explode, and maybe even the Tannerite, and shoot in the Las Vegas desert. Start catching fire. Tesla doors are locked. He's desperately trying to get out of the car, but the car catches fire. In that eruption, the Desert Eagle goes off and actually domes him. There you go. Bro, he had gallons of gas in the back with the fireworks. No way it was an accident. Or, okay. Green Beret Matthew Leifesberger, famous for conducting dark money shadow operations and special operations all around the world, fucks over the wrong cartel boss. So the cartel boss kills him, dumps him in the car. They've also figured out how to do Tesla self-driving, Cybertruck self-driving. The Cybertruck self-drives with the dead Matthew Leifesberger in it, and then they detonate it remotely outside of Trump Tower. Okay. Now you're making stuff up? Yeah, I am. Everything that I'm saying is made up. But also, yeah, the fireworks and all the guns and stuff, like you might be thinking is weird to bring to Las Vegas, but there is a valid reason for why he might have brought that. Like he might have genuinely, not saying that this is the case, but he might have genuinely brought all of those fireworks and like gas canisters and everything else and like go out in the desert and shoot stuff. Sounds like you're covering this up. Wait, what? How am I covering it up when I'm even like leaning into conspiracy stuff? I think anytime you are transporting explosive material in a Cybertruck, you're making a dangerous gamble, okay? Also, Seth Harp is a veteran who writes extensively on the Rolling Stones, writing a book on this as well. the Fort Bragg murders. At least 44 Fort Bragg soldiers died stateside in 2020. Several of them were homicides. Families want answers, but the Army isn't giving any. Fort Bragg is a very weird place. Which makes things even a little bit more unique and interesting. Anyway, I got to pee.
As far as his military background, it's been confirmed by DOD that he was indeed in the United States Army. He was also a Green Beret operations sergeant who spent most of his time at Fort Carson, Colorado, and in Germany. He was on approved leave from Germany, where he was serving with the 10th Special Forces Group. He was also previously in the National Guard and the Army Reserve. I'd like to point out to you that through exceptional joint investigative effort, we've gotten to a place where we believe we can show you his route to Las Vegas from Colorado, and Carlos will put up the map there for you. And we know that he rented the Cybertruck in Denver on December 28th. We tracked his movements through the Tesla charging stations to Monument, Colorado on December 30th. On the 31st of December, the truck was charged in Trinidad, Colorado, Las Vegas, New Mexico, and Albuquerque and Gallup, New Mexico. On January 1st, the truck was charged in Holbrook, Flagstaff, and Kingman, Arizona. We last tracked the truck in Kingman at 05:33 yesterday morning. The truck was first spotted in Las Vegas at 7:29 a.m. yesterday. And Carlos will pull up a picture of the truck pulling onto Fashion Show Drive here. And that picture was observed at about 7:34 a.m. We know that he pulled into the Trump valet, and I believe we have a video of that. You can see the Cybertruck highlighted there.
Wait,
so
what?
Through extensive surveillance video, we were able to track him leaving there, and we know that he went to several different places along Las Vegas Boulevard, and he spent some time in a parking lot of a business near Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. We didn't have a video of the truck pulling back onto Las Vegas Boulevard from the Sands. See that there? That's north on the boulevard.
He was a Trump supporter, which is not surprising.
Where he then immediately heads to the Trump Hotel, pulls into the valet area, and as of course you all know, the explosion occurs within 17 seconds of his arrival at the valet. There's some additional investigative updates that are going to be provided to you by a couple of the other speakers here, the first of which will be our special agent in charge of the FBI local office, Spencer Evans. Spencer?
Good morning. My name is Spencer Evans. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Las Vegas division. As the sheriff mentioned, we've been working through the night with our partners, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and other agencies, to gather all the facts and determine a motive to what was initially reported to the FBI as a bombing incident, to which our special agent bomb techs and others responded. Obviously, we're always concerned in these sorts of events to ascertain what the motive is. We understand that's everybody's at the forefront of everyone's thoughts. And so looking into exactly...
Why is him being a Trump supporter not surprising? Dude, who isn't a Trump supporter, man? That's why it's not surprising. It's more surprising when someone does something and they're actually like a leftist or whatever, okay? I mean, think about it, dude. Ryan Ruth, former Trump voter. Matthew Thomas Crooks, registered Republican. Like, virtually every mass shooter has been... There was a... Dude, being a Trump supporter or being, like, overtly right-wing in the act of doing domestic terror is so commonplace. We got a radfem mass shooter. Like, that's crazy. Like, we got a female school shooter, man. That happened not that long ago. That happened like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't know how long ago, but it's just like think about that. Not RAFM, femcel. Even though people disagree with me on that and say, well, she had a boyfriend. She was a Nazi, not a rad femme. She was a femcel, sorry. Wait, but also with NATO, super soldier Ryan Ruth is like Trump's basically just filled to the brim with mania and right-wing radicalism. So obviously at a certain point, the following mania will point back to him.
Motivation remains our number one priority. This is why the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force has been brought into play. The Joint Terrorism Task Force, most important part of that acronym is joint. It is done in concert with our partners, which are comprised of more than a dozen investigative agencies here throughout the state of Nevada.
It's not canceled by feminists. I mean, dude, that's every day. Okay. She was illiterate, the manifesto. I mean, she was also 14, right?
Working hand in glove, side by side, tirelessly to determine, is there any ongoing threat to the public, to identify the subject, to determine any potential connection to other events going on in the world, most notably in New Orleans, and then obviously to determine if there's anything else that we need to be tracking down. At this time, as the sheriffs pointed out, we feel that the subject has been identified, although not conclusively, waiting for DNA evidence on that front. However, we do feel like we have the subject identified, and at this time there is no information about additional subjects that the FBI is tracking on. Our resources, as I mentioned, that have been deployed in support of this event include Special Agent Bomb Techs, our evidence response team, which is processing crime scenes, side by side with the forensics folks from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, our investigators, our intelligence analysts, and then outside of the FBI Las Vegas field office, we have investigative leads that are being conducted by FBI field offices, both internationally and domestically as well. As always, when the FBI is involved with any sort of case like this, we ask for help for the public. Anyone with information related to this incident, we encourage you to please call 1-800-CALL-FBI, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. We've already received thousands of tips related to this incident. The challenge that we face moving forward is to separate those that are pertinent and relevant and those that can be verified for those from those that have not. For example, one of the tips that we received just today relates to
people saying stop snitching. No, dude, snitch on this one. I want to know. I want to know what happened. This is not like a Luigi case. I want to know what happened. There's a mystery, okay? I want to know. Do you not want to know? Notice how they're not offering rewards since McDonald's did not get paid? No, the reason why they're not offering rewards is because no CEO died in the process. No, if the valet driver had died, they still would not have offered rewards, okay? Yeah, rewards are for high-profile targets, okay? Like a CEO. Like an actual person of value, a person of worth. We, on the other hand, are worthless.
Information alluding to this subject's personal experiences related to his time and activity in the military. Again, that's unverified and uncorroborated, but one of many tips and leads that we will be following.
Yeah, also with Luigi Mangione, we immediately knew what was up. We immediately knew what was up. I like that this person said, yeah, you think you think I am, in the eyes of our institutions, you think I am as valuable and as important as a healthcare CEO, as the CEO of the most profitable healthcare company in America? Y'all are insane. I'm a Twitch streamer, dude. What the hell are you talking about? Take off your horse blinders, dude. I'm the CEO of doing it with your mom. That's the only thing I'm the CEO of. Yeah, but you're my favorite Twitch streamer. Aw, thank you.